Hello, I'm Lori Steiner, sitting in for Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, there is nothing good about a stroke, but we have good news about the latest stroke rehab and research. Then we'll share stories of smiles restored. What's the best kind of advertising? Word of mouth. We'll hear how one retirement community is giving residents their say about where they stay. Plus, online or in the mail, we'll deliver news about how you'll receive your estimate of Social Security earnings. And don't let your death cause the death of your family's relationships.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Today we have news on a shocking study about treating post-stroke pain. Dr. Richard Wilson is here to plug us into the details. Dr. Wilson is with Metro Health's Rehabilitation Institute of Ohio. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now we know when a stroke happens, it blocks blood getting to all parts of the brain, so it can affect motor skills and speech and cognitive issues. But how does pain factor into a stroke?
When we're working with somebody who's had a stroke, we want to start therapy right away. Often that therapy is involved with moving a part of their body over and over, because we're trying to get the brain to either rewire itself or repair itself. If a person has pain that interferes with that movement, then that can interfere with their recovery.
Okay.
So people who have stroke often have shoulder pain. Up to 60% of people who have more severe strokes have shoulder pain.
Oh, well, there is pain involved then. But you're looking into short-circuiting that pain, and there's a new study at Metro Health, correct?
That's right. We're studying how to use an electrical stimulator to improve pain. Many people are familiar with a TENS unit, or TENS therapy, in which a pad is placed on the skin and attached to an external stimulator, and that can cause a tingling sensation associated with reduced pain.
Not actually a shock, I know. It's just sort of tingly on your skin.
That's right. But once the pad is removed, the pain comes back. So we're looking at a different approach to try to find long-term pain relief, where we take a wire, place it into the muscles of the shoulder, attach that to a portable stimulator, and use that to get long-term pain relief.
Oh, okay. So it's something that's a little bit more permanent and that you can use on a long-term basis. So that's also, I think we had an illustration, but this is the actual little unit here, huh?
Yes.
So you're shocking the patient with this electronic, what is it,
It's an electrical stimulator.
Okay.
So as I said, we place a wire through their skin into the muscles of their shoulder. We then send them home. They use the electrical stimulator. Every day they're able to turn it on and off, and for 6 hours a day, for 6 weeks, they receive a comfortable contraction of their muscles. So they don't feel a shock, and it's not painful. At the end of the 6 weeks, they return. We remove the electrode, and the good news is for 60 or 70% of the people, they have successful treatment of their pain.
That's fantastic. That's a pretty good percentage of helping people. But what about the 30 or 40% that this doesn't help with their pain?
For those people, we're looking at putting a stimulator underneath their skin, similar to a pacemaker, and that would provide stimulation that they could use the rest of their lives. So they too could have long-term pain relief.
Okay, so if it doesn't go away in 6 weeks, it's likely to be long-term. Is that why then you go to that next step?
That's correct.
Okay, so for lifetime. And you mentioned that there's the study going on. It's still going on, and you're looking for participants?
That's right. It's an ongoing study, and we also have studies to improve arm function after stroke, even for people who are farther away from their stroke. So if anybody's interested, they can contact us at the Metro Health Rehabilitation Institute.
So even long after, there could be some help from...
That's right. When people think that there's no longer any recovery left, we're looking at ways to try to help them improve as well.
How long is recovery? I mean, when you think there's nothing left, what is that time frame really after a stroke?
Most people are told within the first 6 months is the only time for recovery, but we're now learning that recovery can happen much later. So as long as you're able to continue to learn new things, there can be recovery.
All right. Well, that's also really good information to know. So there are exciting advances in stroke recovery, and they're being made right here in Cleveland at Metro Health. To find out more or to volunteer to be a part of the study, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Dr. Wilson for sharing such stimulating information.
Thank you.
To learn more, call the Metro Health Rehabilitation Institute Center for Stroke Rehabilitation at 216-957-3529 or log on to www.metrohealth.org/stroke. Next, turn that frown upside down. But first, the perennially perky and popular actress Doris Day debuted as a dancer. So what caused her to change her tune and switch to singing? We'll break the story behind her change of step when we return.
My husband and I got into the car and we couldn't do it. We couldn't pick one baby over the other. Coming to Metro changed the entire pregnancy. We actually started to become happy with our situation. We owe a big thank you to Metro. I can't imagine our family without Sam.
The old adage, break a leg, turned out to be both good and bad luck for actress, singer Doris Day. It was only after she broke her leg that this determined dancer decided to serenade her audience with singing to great success. Her signature song, Que Sera Sera, says it all.
A few weeks ago, we told you how some minor changes could put you in the major leagues of beautiful smiles. Well, that segment hit a home run. So dentist Steve Marsh is back today to share more tips for hitting a dental double. So
thanks for having me.
Apparently, lots of your patients like the idea that just a little bit of work can really cause a big difference.
You know, it's funny. What surprised me is I heard a lot from my own patients who said, "Gosh, you had never said that to me," because many times we're focused on emergency treatment or
Right.
big redos, if you will. And I also heard from a couple of dentists who said, "What did you show?" Because I've had patients coming in, so that's gratifying to me that it's helping the community.
People are learning about it. So don't hold back on us here. What's an easy initial approach to brightening smiles?
Well, one of the things we do is reshaping of teeth, and we do that with recontouring. It's very easy. We can do it on upper teeth that have chipped and lower teeth that have chipped. The nice thing about it is that it also, in a sense, strengthens a tooth. If you have a tooth that's fractured, in the same way if a 2x4 breaks and you have splinters, if you sanded that off, it would reduce the chances of any more fracturing. The same thing happens in teeth, and I have a case or so to show you.
Well,
what
don't
we've
you
done.
have how to reshape them here? You've got some tools,
Yeah,
right?
and I will do that. I see some pictures are up, and this is a young woman. Since Mother's Day was last week, we thought we'd focus on women today. This is a very 30-some-year-old woman physician, and she had some very large front teeth, and she wanted me to do some bonding and reshaping. Bonding is another very easy way to do it. So we reshaped those two laterals. Those are the ones on either side of the front. They stuck out. And again, just by some recontouring of those and some bonding and some lower reshaping and bringing those front two in, they didn't seem to dominate the smile.
Yeah,
Now
it made a big difference. And,
Big difference.
And I knew you had brought the tools in so that
Well,
it's
in dentists
easy,
we call
right?
them instruments,
Oh,
and
I'm sorry.
my staff wrap them,
Instruments?
and they're sterilized, and that's why we use this package. This is a high-speed handpiece, and you know, dentist people are often worried about pointed instruments. This is not pointed. When we do contouring, it's a reshaping. That's called a football shape, and I'm going to bring up my other handpiece, if I can, and this is a handpiece that has a sandpaper disc. This is called a slow-speed handpiece, and you can see it's very much like sanding that you would have on an emery
Right.
board, and just those two instruments can make a huge difference in their smiles.
That's excellent. So I think you've got some more pictures that even show some
Well, I think-
additional types of,
I think pictures demonstrate it in the best way, Lori.
they say 1,000 words, right?
1,000 words, right. So this is a patient who, over the years, had not liked her teeth. Your viewers may remember she actually came with us one time on the show, and Angela had a smile that the teeth had shifted. They had darkened. So what we did first was we actually used some whitening gel. We did zoom whitening and then maintained it, but we still didn't like the shape of her teeth. We also didn't like the contours and the spacing. Again, as we get older, our teeth shift. So she said, what can we do in a very easy way? So after the whitening, we did reshaping, and then we did some porcelain veneers and porcelain crowns. This is obviously a little more than a minor treatment. But again, we started with the minor treatment. We did it at her pace. Interestingly, another woman physician in her 30s. Actually, there are a lot of women physicians, and as a father of 2 women, I'm thrilled to see that, physicians and dentists. And again, this was Lori just with reshaping. Actually, no bonding at all at this stage. She wanted something easy. She wanted it done quickly. So in about 45 minutes, we reshaped those lower front teeth. Also reshaped the upper. You can see got rid of those splinters, if you will, on the edges of the teeth. And later on, we can come back if she'd like with bonding and that sort of thing. But again, we do it at her pace, the patient's pace. Again, we'll always offer, for example, that orthodontics first. And if they want to do something quickly, and she said as a 30-some physician, she really wanted to be able to go from the office
Right.
and back to work. So that's what we were able to accomplish.
Perfect. So, as you've seen, a little time and attention to your teeth can go a long way to sprucing up your smile. Need a more major makeover? Steve will be back in a couple of weeks to offer additional in-depth options. And to learn more about either approach, give Steve a call. His number's coming up next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, encouraging others to feel right at home. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Celebrate 25 years of Senior Day on May 14th when the Cleveland Department of Aging will once again host this annual event. Held at Cleveland Public Hall, Senior Day begins at 10 a.m. with an information fair and lunch at noon. Then the day ends with entertainment, and it's all free. To learn more, call 216-664-2833 or click to www.cleveland-oh.gov.
Today we're going into the woods, and according to David Schell and Don Clayson, that's where we'll find a place to live that's not too country and not too city, but just right. David is the executive director of Breckenridge Village Retirement Community in Willoughby, and Don is a resident there. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
We've talked about the beautiful campus before, David, but what is this new now Grace Woods?
Well, Grace Woods is our satellite community, and we opened the first phase a little over 3 years ago, and we're now opening our last and final phase. It'll go under construction July of this year, and it's a wonderful location, real close to the main campus, and like you said, Lori, a little bit in the woods, but easily accessible.
All right, so and Don, you've been living there, and you're the chief now marketer, I understand, for this community, so you're a resident. Why would you be marketing?
Well, Laurie, I wouldn't say I'm the chief marketer. I'm one of the resident marketers. We moved into Grace Woods, my wife Peggy and I, about April of 2011. And what we quickly discovered that it was a very open, very caring community. And I'll guarantee you, in every conversation that we had, the subject of how happy people were with the facility, and they were more than willing to share their experiences with us. Then about I guess it was maybe August, September time frame, a bunch of us were having a conversation with Jan Pemberton, who was a marketing rep for Breckenridge, with the idea of how do we communicate to the marketers this feeling that people, the residents, have. And one of the concepts we came up with was a resident-driven presentation. Now, this would be one in which the residents would get up, they would talk about their experiences, and then they would open it up to the people that were attending for questions. Well, give Jan credit. She took a big gulp, kind of swallowed hard, and said, go for it.
Oh, all right.
And they ran with it.
Yeah, so what do you tell people when they're asking about the community?
Well, we tell them that, as you said earlier in the program, we're a new resident community. We're in a rural environment, sort of. It's a wooded area, but it's not far from all kinds of shops and grocery stores and everything.
So when you want to get away, you can get away, but when you need to get into the, business part, it's right there.
It's exactly right.
All right, and it sounds like it's a beautiful place. Lakes and woods and all kinds of beautiful surroundings. So it sounds like for him and for the organization, it's kind of too good to be true. You're marketing for them, so
It's really great for them to tell this story, and I think for the residents to tell this story is the special part of it. And you're right, Lori, it's a great location and it's close to the main campus, but on its own in a way, a beautiful wooded section.
Okay, and there's connection to the other parts with a heated walkway?
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic for the
yeah.
wintertime.
Underground parking, and it's
Oh.
heated underground parking, and then elevators to a single floor design.
Just makes it
And,
really nice
yeah,
for you.
very convenient.
And you were doing all this building too when the market was kind of in a downturn, so.
It was a little scary time, but when we went out for bid in 2009, we were able to get a real competitive price. We put things into geothermal heating and built really great buildings, and the market has been receptive. We've been very fortunate.
That's great. One last word, you could say one word or two words to sell this.
Don't wait, do it now.
Excellent, excellent. So, if you love living in nature, but you still want all the advantages of a city slicker, then Grace Woods at Breckenridge Village might just be the place that is just right for you. To learn more, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Dave and Don for their amazing grace.
Thank you very much.
Find out more by calling Breckenridge Village at 440-954-8359 or click to www.breckenridgeohio.org. Next, Social Security is making a statement. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and we're here today to show you how to strengthen that core and the ever important abdominal muscles. You ready to go?
Let's flatten those abs.
Let's do it. All right, we're gonna do a basic crunch today. We're gonna start lying flat on the ground. We want our feet flat as well with our legs bent at about a 45-degree angle. From here, you have two options. Either place your hands above your eyes, or you can give yourself a hug and cross your chest. All we're gonna do is keep your chin pointed towards the ceiling, squeeze the abdominals, and bring your shoulder blades off the ground. We're looking for 15 to actually 20 repetitions here. All right, how you feeling, Lori?
Oh.
Keep them coming, come on. We need at least
I
3 to 4.
can do it.
You got it, all right. We need at least 3 to 4 sets of these. Remember, slow and controlled movements, and you gotta remember to breathe. Do not hold your breath. You're looking good. 6 packs on the way. All right, everybody, now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
How do you replace your lost Social Security card, get proof of your supplemental security income benefits, or uncover why you haven't received an estimate of your future Social Security benefits? Do you feel insecure about how to solve your Social Security questions? Well, we've got a solution. We've secured Brandon Smith, a public affairs specialist with the Social Security Administration. Welcome back to the show. You've been on before.
Good to be back.
So there are some procedure changes upcoming with Social Security, and we're going to cover those. So why are these changes first occurring?
Sure. Very good question. To meet some of the increasing demands on our services, we have to make some changes on how we provide those services. When it comes to fraud prevention and protecting the integrity of the Social Security number, those are always very high priority. So with that, effective with August 1st, 2014, we will no longer be providing the Social Security number printout. That is essentially a piece of paper that we print out in our offices that has verification of your name and your Social Security number that people use in lieu of a Social Security card.
All right, so if you're not going to be doing that anymore and you need proof of your Social Security number, like you maybe lost your card or it's stuck someplace you can't find it, how do you get that proof then?
A person will now have to apply for a replacement card. There's an application that you can get online or in any office. The website, like most of our websites, is based on socialsecurity.gov. To get the replacement Social Security card application, it's socialsecurity.gov/SS number.
Okay. Oh, we have that up on the screen for everybody.
A person can print that out and bring it into their local office, or you can do it via the mail. You do need to bring in some information for your identification.
I figured there had to be ID involved.
Yes. Preferably your driver's license, state ID, passport, naturalization certificate if we need that proof as well. Then you'll get your card mailed to you in less than 10 business days usually.
Okay, so you can just take that all in. They'll go through it all. Do you have to leave your documentation, or do you get to take it with you if you've gone in person?
That's an advantage if you you do go into the office, if you walk in or come in with your documents, you will leave that same day
Okay.
with those documents.
If you mail them in, though, you have to mail everything and then they send it back to you?
Correct.
Okay. So that's the first question. You got to actually get a new Social Security card if you've lost yours. Now, how about the second question is providing proof of supplemental security income benefits?
If a person's on Social Security benefits or supplemental security income effective with October 1st, 2014, we won't be providing the benefit verification letters in our local offices. A person will still have some other means on getting those, be it online, by creating a My Social Security account, or by calling our toll-free national number.
Okay, so you can still get it if you've misplaced your initial benefit statement. And you mentioned My Social Security.
I did,
So
I
what is
did.
that? What is that?
My Social Security is a feature that allows you to create a username and password to have an account that'll allow you to get your benefit verification letter. If you're on Social Security, you can change your address, your telephone number, your direct deposit, get proof of your Medicare status instantly. You don't have to call in, you don't have to wait for it to be mailed to you.
Excellent. So everything's going online now, it seems, huh?
Options. We want to give people options.
And that's good. That's always good. Final question. Everybody used to get those statements every year saying what you can anticipate your future Social Security benefit to be. And those are stopping. I think they've already stopped, right?
Stopped a couple of years ago. But we're going to resume sending those out effective September 2014. If you haven't signed up for Social Security benefits, and if you haven't signed up for a My Social Security account, once again at socialsecurity.gov/myaccount, people will get those in 5-year increments starting at the age of 25, up to people that are 60 and older. We're still finalizing all the details in regards to that, but at least those individuals will get it in the mail, but you can always get it instantly at My Social Security.
All right. Good information to know. So making your Social Security information more secure is a good thing. And even with these changes, you can still feel secure about getting the services that you need. Follow Brandon's advice and get a My Social Security account. If you've still got questions, you can use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Brandon for joining us today.
For more information, call Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213 or visit their website, www.socialsecurity.org. Next, avoid family feuds at your death.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back with a few formulas to finalize family matters after the funeral. I've seen it happen far too often. Mom or dad dies, and that triggers World War III among the kids. What causes the fighting? Is it money? No. Is it investments? Nope. Most of the worst family feuds are waged over the little stuff, like a parent's personal property, photos, silverware, a painting, a coin collection. The items don't even have to be valuable. Bypassing battles is possible. So here with some very valuable tips is my invaluable law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hello.
Hello. So the worst fights are over personal items. It's crazy.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's true. A typical will say, on my death, everything is divided evenly, all my personal property among my children. It doesn't say anything more than that. So then when mom or dad passes away, the kids might start fighting over the couch or a picture over the mantle, or jewelry is especially a big one. They'll all of a sudden
Right.
squabble who gets what. It can become a major problem.
Crazy. So are there steps we can take now to avoid these post-mortem meltdowns of the children?
Yeah, well, there's one way. You could put in the will itself, saying what everyone gets. You get this jewelry, you get that jewelry, these items, and you can make a list like that. But there are problems even with that. That'll solve it. It'll make it clear. But you can have problems. Let's say you change your mind, or you bought a new item and you want to go to somebody. You need to go to a lawyer and have your will changed, and that's a cost.
Right.
I don't want people to go and say, I'll just write on the will and change it, because there's a good chance you'll invalidate the entire will.
Yeah, there's big problems with that.
Yeah,
huh?
and you might even have, let's say you've lost an item or sold an item, it's still in the will. That can cause a lot of misunderstandings and confusion and just more problems.
Right. So are there other alternatives?
Well, another way is just to make a list, an informal list. I want this to go there, that to go there. Just come up with a list. It's not part of the will. It's not legally binding. Okay, but and so you can change it without going to a lawyer. And that way you've laid out your items how you want. Your intent is known to your family. And usually the children are going to follow your intent, hopefully.
Usually
Yeah,
is
that's right.
operative. Any other, maybe one more strategy to distribute personal items without, big fight?
Well, another, maybe you don't want to have that specific list in the will, and you didn't bother with a long list, but you want to make it enforceable. You can say everything is divided, let's say, evenly among my children. But if they can't come to terms and agree within 30, 60, or 90 days, come up with a time frame, there's going to be an independent person named in the will, maybe a non-family member, an accountant, an attorney, or somebody, who will then divvy up the assets.
All right, who takes charge.
Yes.
So don't let your death cause the death of family relationships. By following Mike Solomon's advice, you can help protect what you truly value the most, your family. Any questions, give Mike a call.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.bssplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, we're combining nutritious and delicious to cook up the grill of your dreams. Then we'll encourage creativity for all by introducing inclusive crafting. You put the money in, but when can you take it out? We'll reveal the ins and outs of IRAs. Plus, we've got a healthy dose of information about your health insurance and Social Security's best kept secret for folks with a serious illness or disability. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.